Hi there, it's Tracy here from the Papercraft Studio. Thank you for joining me today. Today we're going to make this Flowing Flowers birthday card. So this is using a new stamp set in the mini catalogue that came out in January. And as well as these gorgeous distinctive stamps, so you get that full image of this detail when you stamp it with one ink. You've also got some great sentiments on there like happy birthday, thank you, just a note. So I wanted to I like to have those in my collection, those kind of things. So let me go ahead and show you the supplies you need to make this card. So you need a piece of thick basic white cardstock, and this measures 11.5 inches by 4 1/8. So basically in the UK, a piece of A4 this way. I've just cut a little bit off the end to make the layers a bit easier. You need a piece of Coastal Cabana cardstock, and this measures 5.5 inches by 3 7/8. Another piece of basic white, which measures 5 1/4 by 3 5/8. And there's a few scraps here that I'll show you in a second. Right, so let's go ahead and score the center of the card base. So that's going to, because I've cut it at 11.5, I'm going to score it at 5 3/4. And I've started to do this now because I just find then you get the card perfectly in half. Our cardstock is about 11 3/4, slightly under, so you don't always get that that exact fold. Okay, so fold this one in half, just give it a little press down here. So you can go ahead and attach your Coastal Cabana layer onto here. It's actually quite nice to be doing some birthday cards again now we're kind of past Christmas projects. I love Christmas, but you know, there is a point where we have to stop, isn't there, and move on. And if you want to make sure you don't miss any of my videos, then please do hit the subscribe button below, and then you know you'll always get notification of any new videos I pop on. So if you like my projects, it doesn't cost you anything, but it means a lot to me if you can subscribe below. That would be great. It really helps my viewing point of view. Okay, so on this piece here, actually first we're going to stamp this Fussy Cut Flower. So you need a scrap of basic white cardstock, and I've taken the largest image here. I'm going to get my Coastal Cabana ink this up. And then it doesn't matter where you stamp this because we're going to cut it out. Okay, and then I'm just going to give that stamp a clean, because we're then going to come in, whoops, and stamp in another colour. We're going to stamp in Smoky Slate. Okay, so, ooh, it's a squeak. Pop that to one side a second. So with your Smoky Slate, I'm going to show you how to create this background cardstock here. So ink it up, and because I put the happy birthday in the middle, I want some detail kind of either side of that. So I'm going to come slightly off the page at the top here to get most of that flower in. Turn it slightly at the bottom here, and again maybe go off a little at the top. Let's pop one. How will I get most of it in? Maybe that way. So you can see you don't have to get the whole image in, but it's really a pretty way to fill your cardstock with a background design. So it's kind of like making your own designer series paper, really. Come in there to the side. Okay, happy with that. So let's pop the stamp to one side. And then we can then go ahead and layer that onto the card. So just some glue on the back here. Okay, so center that onto your Coastal Cabana layer. And then I'm just going to show you how I made this label here. So I've used the Scalloped Contours dies, and that's I've cut one out in Basic Black and one in Costa Cabana. But it was too big. I didn't want it that big. I tried layering it on the card like this, but it was taking up too much space. But I really wanted to use the happy birthday from the stamp set. So what I did, if I bring my trimmer in, I'm just going to show you from the bottom here. Get rid of the scoring tool. So for the black layer, I've cut it in half. So line up the center of the die cut with the cutting line either side, and I'm just going to line it up again down here in my in shot, so it's in the middle. You can count the little bumps if you want to. It's basically where that dot is either side, and you're going to come in. You just have to kind of trust that it's going to stay in place there, and cut that in half. Okay, and then with this one here, you want to have 4 little bumps. So we're going to get rid of those pieces. So it's the 2 either side of this little dot here. So come into the second kind of dip and cut one there. So we're going to get rid of that. You could use that as a little border for something else actually. And then do the same on the other side. So the second one in, line it up, the top and the bottom. So you're left with that piece. And what I've done then, once I've stamped it, I've layered it. So we leave one whole kind of bump and then line it up with the next ones. And then on this side again, it will overlap on the back, do the same at the bottom. And that just created that little label section there. So that's just a little tip of how you can change up your dies a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and stamp this in Basic Black in Memento ink. Up because I'm doing it a bit ahead of myself here and on the desk, and I can't quite see. I don't think I've got that quite where I want it to be. That was disastrous, Tracy. Let's find another one. I put too much ink on my I'll just clean the stamp set. I put too much ink on there. See, these things happen to all of us. So I'll go slightly lighter. I did really ink this ink pad up when I had the penguins, and I think that's what's made it quite so inky. Okay, let's hope that one's a bit better. I'm going to ignore these bits for now, but you will take your time and do a much better job than I have. Okay, let's get rid of that. So we're just going to pop our embellishments there instead. So like I say, I would put glue on the back of this one, and then we're going to line up, on the back of this, just maybe down one side for now, so we don't want to get in a mess too much. And then you're going to slide that to line up with those and those on this side. Okay, so you can see the little bumps here now are covered by the Costa Cabana. And then, which is best to put it on? We'll put it on here. And a little bit here, because I know that's going to overlap a bit. And let's slide this into position. Oh, it's not going so well, this video. Slide it into position up here. There we go, on both sides. So you've just got that in the middle. I've got a little bit of glue there, but that's fine. I'm going to take this off and it will dry clear, so we're not too worried about that. Okay, so you could, if you want to, stick that down with dimensionals, but I'm just going to glue it. So in the UK, if you use 2 layers of dimensionals, it tends to bump it up to a large letter postage. So always check before you send it, but normally one layer is just regular first class post. Okay, and before you stick that down, you can cut out your flower and work out where you want it to be if you want to, but I know from my video that I pretty much want it there. So you're going to go ahead and fussy cut your flower. So just kind of turn the paper outward more than the snips, and you'll find it just quite easy to go around. So I'm going to come back in a couple of minutes after I've finished cutting this. Okay, so here we go. That's the end of my fussy cutting. And what I did was I just took a bone folder. You could take a pen or something if you don't have one, and just roll up the leaves a little bit just to give it a bit more dimension. And then again, you can stick that one on either with glue or with dimensionals. But before we do that, I'm going to show you a new punch that we have. It's called the Bow Punch, B-O-U-G-H, and you've got 2 bits on here. Now these flowers don't match up with this, I know, but I just wanted to pop them on there just for a bit of extra detail. So you're going to punch the small one in basic white, and then the bigger one here in Costa Cabana. Okay, so that's a really handy punch to have, because I think I'm going to use it a lot to add little details on cards. Then get yourself a sponge or a dauber. I've just put my thumb in the ink and just go around the edges of these little flowers here, just to add a little bit of Costa Cabana. A little bit fiddly, but just adds that little pop of colour to tie it all in. This one you kind of have to bend back a little. You can spend more time doing that. And then you can either stick this down first and then slot these in, or you can position it all, which is probably easier, and then stick, oops, I'm going too far down there, we're not going to see anything. Let's come up here a bit. Where's my little flower gone? Yeah, so we want to be able to see that, but also the greeting. So I'm going to pop them up there. Okay, so just a little bit of glue or a glue dot. You can just put it underneath one of the leaves that's not going to be showing. And I think mine went a bit higher than that. Oops. And then again, you can pop it some glue on one of the little flowers on this one. And again, I had to have that quite high on there. Just going to pop some glue on my flower and pop that where I want that to be. Okay, cool. So just to show you another new product, these are called classic matte dots, and again in the new catalogue. So you've got basic black, that looks like basic grey, vanilla and white. You get 2 sizes of each of the dots. So I've just chosen to put, actually I think I've managed to cover up one of my mistakes. I might just draw in the rest of the happy birthday there, or I might just choose to put a dot. Yeah, let's put a dot, then nobody knows it's there. Perfect. You could pop one down here, and if you want to put a couple in the centre of the flowers, obviously that's fine as well. And then to finish off, I just thought I'm going to pop a little bow at the bottom. So again, some basic white twine, and I've just done a bunny ears bow here, so 2 loops. I think I've quite got them in loops there, and tie the loops in a knot. Pull that one through there. I don't think I've done that very well at all. Oh, right, start again. Never easy on camera to tie bows. So 2 loops, tie them in a knot. Have I got the right piece coming through? 3rd time lucky. Come on, Tracy, you can do this. Tie in a... Yay! Okay, it's a very uneven knot, but we've tied it, or a bow. If I pull these down, so all I do is I pull the loops, and then I hold the knot, pull the ends a bit to tighten it. So I actually like them really small, which is just as well. Glue dot on the back. Okay, you might need to roll it up a little bit on the end of your tool here. Pick it up, and then actually, as I've got my dots now on that end to cover up my little stamping error, I'm going to put mine on this end this time. And then you can trim the ends if you want to. And there you have it, my Flowing Flowers birthday card. I hope you enjoy making that. Take care. See you soon. Bye.